Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back. Today, as you can see, we're doing a builder-based video. We're gonna see what we can do, what we can pull out of the hat, and hopefully you can learn something from this video. So yeah, let's get started. Okay. So let's see. So let me just say, every attack that I do as a Builder Hall 8, I use air attacks. So you can do these attacks in a variety of ways, but my favorite is the current army setup that I have right now. Now, when you're using the setup, you have to really watch out for the roaster and for the air bombs, especially when they're high levels like they are on this base. In this circumstance, I also want to make sure that I attack on the side that the giant cannon is. Like 9 times out of 10, that's what I'm going to do. Issue is that will I get the town hall if I attack on the giant cannon side? And in this scenario, I'm not quite sure about that. You know what I'm going to do? In this scenario, I'm actually going to attack on this side. So we have a chance of getting the Builder Hall and potentially, if it goes well, the giant cannon. Now that's a huge deal because if I need to actually place down my battle machine, okay, that's worst case scenario right there. So that's what you don't want to happen, is air bombs taking out 2 of your balloons at the same time. Well, drop ships, but you know what I mean. But it looks like we will still manage to get the air bombs, which is incredible. So once you get the air bombs, usually, excluding the roaster, you can take out everything else pretty easily. And like I said, we got the giant cannon down. So that is great news for us. And now I'm kind of wondering where I want to place my battle machine. Well, in this scenario, I'm pretty much just going to be able to get a little bit extra damage. And so what I'm going to do, I guess I meant a little extra destruction. So what I'm going to kind of just do is get these outside buildings here. Now I'm going to use my ability because it would be good to get through this cannon as fast as I can. That way I'm not getting tagged on by many defenses at one time, although that's still going to happen. And yeah, I was just going to let that go. Okay, and we got 77% damage, 2 stars, and it's a victory. Okay, sweet. Usually if you get that percentage and a 2-star, you're going to win. 70 to 80 percentile range is really the range that is best for most likely to win. So yeah, so now we're going to, what I like to do to make these battles go by quicker, if I don't have a lot of time, I'll do one attack first, and then I'll use the clock tower's boost to speed up my training. That way I can get all the rest of them done very fast. Now this is very effective because basically what it does is it maximizes the short period of time that you get to use the clock tower's boost. And yeah, so the time that I'm actually training, I'm using the boost instead of using some of it while I'm attacking. Okay, I've boosted our attack and now our troops are trained and we're ready to go. So let's analyze this base. Okay, very tough base here. It's good that he only has a level 7 air bombs, but that's still going to be a pain in the butt. So in this scenario, okay, so in this scenario, if I were to place the air bombs on this side over here, the issue that I'd run into is that I have all these guard post troops over here, and they would distract my balloons and my minions, and they wouldn't take out the important stuff like the roaster or the firecrackers. So I'm going to actually attack on this side, although that's very dangerous in this scenario because of the fact that the air bombs is right there, and there's so many buildings in front, and there's really high level defenses protecting them. But I will try nonetheless, and we will see how it goes. And that's not good, seeing how fast that dropship is losing its hit points. Okay, this could go badly. And the problem also is with this attack is once the minions get so bunched up and they get near the air bombs, they're going to get shredded. And they're not even focusing on the air bombs. That's lovely. And also, keep in mind, air bombs tend to go for your minions before they go for your dropships. Like, your dropships have to be very close compared to your beta minions for them to really not focus your minions, and that is a very big pain in the butt because that's where the firepower comes from. Keep in mind, dropships, they don't have a lot of damage potential. They just tank. That's literally it. So you gotta kind of figure out what the right balance of tank to actual attack is. You know, well, damage dealer, I should say. And so now we're gonna place the battle machine and get through this really annoying level 6 wall. I think that's level 6. I might be wrong, but I think that's level 6. And we're not gonna deploy the ability until after he finishes the wall. Now I'm gonna deploy it right there. So hopefully what he's going to do is he's going to take out the hidden... Shame on you. So instead what our battle machine decided to do is to go in between all of the defenses. That way he can get focused by 3 at a time. That's lovely. Although he will be taking out this cannon soon, so I can't complain about that. Great thing about this too, I'm being sarcastic, this high level archer tower over here is going to do enough damage. Now I'm going to exit out. So he's so close to the Crusher that he would have gotten one shot by the Crusher. So I'm not going to even bother getting the storage. So that Archer Tower can annihilate your battle machine. So when you have a level 7 Archer Tower, your battle machine can survive if it's just that defense attacking it. You can keep popping your ability and it'll be able to survive the attacks. But if it's a level 8, that's not true. Especially, and don't keep in mind, that does not count for the short range, high damage Archer Towers. This counts for only the long range ones. And so yeah, basically they're the one defense that you can kind of get away with just like letting them snipe you, so long as they're the only defense. And this is the great thing about having the clock tower boost. Now my troops are already trained when I come back, so I get to go right back into battle. Okay. These are really annoying when you have the roaster and the air bombs together. When they're so close together, you kind of don't get a break from them. So you gotta be very careful in how you attack this base. Okay, I'm gonna go on this side because I'll place a minion there. He'll take out that altar for the battle machine, and now we're gonna start putting them in. Another thing as well is remember to put your minions in first and then your dropships. There are very rare scenarios where you don't want to do this, but you end up getting your firepower in there, which are the beta minions, and then you have the tanks in there. So now your tanks have more HP before they're getting fired at. And so now we're in an interesting scenario here. The dropship got led away from the roaster instead of taking it out, which could work out, but that was also kind of annoying, and we did not manage to take out the giant cannon. So what we are going to do is stay very, 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 very far away from it. Skeletons are getting destroyed because of the Crusher, or whatever it was that destroyed them. It probably would have been the roaster, actually, now that I think of it. Yeah, so I'm not even going to bother messing with that. I'm just with the giant cannon, because I don't stand a chance. Yep. Unless it's a low-level giant cannon, your battle machine's just going to get wrecked. And by the way, giant cannons don't do a large amount of damage at all to anything except the battle machine. The battle machine is literally, it does like, I think it's like 10 or 20 times as much damage to the battle machine as it does compared to other troops. So yeah, definitely keep your battle machine away from the giant cannon at all costs. So we're just going to use that ability there, take the storage down, and we're going to exit because he's going to go to that Crusher, and we don't want to... Okay, yeah, I did not think that was going to be a win. It just usually isn't. But sometimes you get lucky. This guy has level 8 double cannons. They look pretty sweet. Because the giant cannon is right there, I'm just going to attack this base on this side. Now, one reason why is because it doesn't really matter how close I get the dropships together. The firecrackers can only fire at one dropship at a time. And so, basically, I don't have to worry about splash. That's the big issue with dropships. That's basically the bane of dropships is splash. And also, keep in mind, when you place your beta minions in, you want to make sure that you get the dropships in there pretty quickly, because if you take too long, something like air mine, the mega mine or the air mines will actually end up destroying all of your minions, and you do not want that to happen. So make sure that doesn't happen and get everything placed down really fast. Great, we have the giant cannon done, we have the builder hall destroyed. Okay, and we're really not left with too much. We can actually get quite a bit. Just have to make sure we figure out where we want to place it and that we place it in the best possible area. So at this point, you just want to get as much damage as possible. That's the main thing. Don't want to go here because there's the crusher right there. That'll end my damage escapade a little too soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my battle machine way over there, activate the ability. Now you want to keep in mind, don't activate it too late or too soon. If you place him too far away and activate it, once he reloads the next ability, his lightning hammer or whatever, his ability will get reset and you won't have it anymore. So it'll waste your abilities. So notice that's why I placed him a decent distance away. And yeah, this Mega Tesla is going to be a pain. Hopefully we can get... Nope. Yeah, it doesn't even matter. So if you're not boosting, it's good to end the battle before, if you know you're not going to make any more destruction. It's just good to end the battle before you really lose your battle machine. But in this scenario, I have the boost going, so it's not really necessary. Although you can still do that. And, okay, we're definitely attacking on this side. So we have the Roaster, which is a big enemy to the beta minions. And then also the Giant Cannon, which is a huge enemy to the battle machine. So we're going to take both of those out on this side, which is why I would attack it. And plus, we also have weak Firecracker defense. They're upgrading one right there, whereas they have two over here. So we'd have an easier time dealing with the Roaster and just a Firecracker. Well, and really we have the Arch Towers as well, but they're not that big of a deal. Okay. We'll see how this goes, because that's the problem with a builder race attack. You never know how it's going to go, and sometimes it can go really, really good, and sometimes it can just really stink. It just, altogether, just doesn't work out, and there's nothing you can do about it. But it looks like we might have a shot here. Let's see. Okay, Air Bombs is going for the dropship. That is perfect. That is just what we wanted. You don't want your dropship to get taken out too soon, but that is definitely what you want. Is that for the Air Bombs to take it before it takes your beta minions, because it will take a lot more of your beta minions. And then, notice also, Firecrackers get very overpowered by beta minions. If you just have a horde of them, any single attack defense gets just so overpowered. So that's why the Roaster and the Air Bombs are the most dangerous thing. Even the Mega Tesla is not very effective against beta minions. Sweet, we were able to get that last double cannon. And the Holy Minion. He is protected. Heaven has rained down grace and blessings upon this one. He is protected from that little Tesla right there. Okay, sweet. So now the question is, where do we want to attack? We're definitely not attacking these Teslas. It might work, so you can actually place your battle machine down to distract the Teslas. That way they won't attack the beta minions. But he's so close to the Firecracker, that's not going to be very meaningful at all. So that beta minion is basically just going to die either way. On second look at that, that might have been a bad idea that I placed him on this side. See, if I place him on this side, now he's going to try to bust through the wall with the Mega Tesla right there, which basically means he's just not going to. So I'm going to end the battle right there. But it's possible that had I placed him over here, that he could have just taken a few hits and then made it over. I mean, it could also be that he would ignore this building. The way the battle machine is, his intelligence is like very strange. His programming is very strange. Sometimes he'll ignore certain buildings when they seem closer than and they make more sense to destroy than going through the wall with their double cannon or a Mega Tesla on the other side. But that's just my opinion, I guess. So yeah, so that was basically what I do when I'm playing the builder base. And you notice I had a pretty good success rate. That looks like 1, 2, 3 out of 5. So a 60% win ratio. That's pretty darn good. And it can also be helpful to look at what the enemy was using. Notice he also used this guy right here. Jens also used an air attack like mine. So did whatever that dude's name is. I cannot pronounce that. And a villager, and then also the guy that just attacked me. But so most everyone else also uses this attack, and as you can see, a lot of them are using 6 drop ships. But so it depends on what your preferences are. If you find that your drop ships are dying too fast, it might be a good idea to put a few more in. So, but it's definitely a very, very sturdy attack, and the reason why this is because on the last update that they made for the builder base, they buffed the drop ships to where they had like an extra 10 or 20% of hit points, something like that, which was actually pretty huge. So I would definitely recommend that if you're in Builder Hall 8, that you upgrade to max balloons, drop ships, and max beta minions. So, and there are definitely several different attack strategies that you can use to totally wipe bases, and definitely look into those and see what you prefer, and also it changes for each base, so kind of get used to using several different attack strategies. But for me personally, I think that this attack strategy is really OP. And yeah, so that's basically how you just rock it at Town Hall at Builder Hall 8. And an attack, and also I'd like to give a helpful tip as well. Don't ever use sneaky archers. Ever since they nerfed them the last update, they've been absolutely horrible. They reduced their cloak time from 10 seconds to 8, and it really just destroyed this troop. It really is almost pointless now. I used to wreck bases by just going all archers and stuff. You just place them around the perimeter, and if you had the right strategies, you could actually even 2-star bases just with archers. Now, they're pretty sad, and you're lucky if you can 1-star with them. Well, okay, that's all for today, guys, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you got something out of it. I'm going to include my Patreon link down below, and we will see you later.